Hello everyone, my name is Goji. Metric number is JS57517. The title of our group is Research on the Impact of Financial Crises on the Stability of China's Currency Demand. An empirical analysis based on ARDL model. The global financial crisis, also known as the world financial crisis and the credit crisis, refers to the crisis of global financial assets of financial institutions or financial markets. The financial crisis is specifically manifested and a sharp drop in the price of global financial assets or the collapse of financial institutions, or on the verge of bankruptcy, or a collapse in a financial market such as the stock market and the bond market. A stable money demand function is an important part of macroeconomic theory and practice because it provides a reliable and predictable link between the total amount of money and the related variables, and this link is used to determine the goals required by economic activities. The theoretical basis of monetary growth is therefore also an important guarantee for the successful implementation of macroeconomic policies. Specifically, if the money demand function is unstable, the impact of change in policy choice such as the interest rate on money demand is uncertain, and the effect of the policies is therefore uncertain. The rapid increase in China's money supply after the financial crisis did not cause high inflation, and the quantity theory of China's money became invalid. Another question arising from the failure of the quantity theory of money is whether the stability of China's money demand after the financial crisis will be affected. Here are some major lectures. These lectures have made corresponding academic contributions, which are helpful to understand the characteristics of China's currency demand. Of course, there are also areas for improvement. First, and China further integrates into the global economic and financial system. It is necessary to combine China's economic characteristics and further systematic discuss currency demand and conduct empirical analysis based on this. However, there are not many documents in this area. Some documents merely select individual open variables based on economic intuition, and the impact mechanism needs to be discussed in depth. Regarding important variables such as exchange rate, the direction of influence is divided in conclusion. Second, most of these studies did not pay close attention to the stability of the estimated parameters during the SIP period. All the conclusions were uncertain and constant. Third, the existing lecture system adopts more cutting-edge dynamic econometric methods, especially in the case of small samples, which lack statistic credibility. In response to these problems, these people construct an MDF with a better theoretic model and economic reality foundation, and use more powerful ARDL to conduct systematic research during the new simple period. Next part will be introduced by another group members.
Okay, I will show you chapter 3. There are 4 parts in this section. The first is the measurement method. Considering that symbols used in this research are time series data, and the sample size is small, The ARDM method suitable for small sample estimation is used for testing. The second part is data. The data used in this research comes from data published by the World Bank database and the interest rate data published by the Central Bank of China from 2008 to 2019. There are a total of 12 years data, including each year's GDP, money supply M1, and deposit interest rate R. The third part is research method. In this paper, we use ARDM model. This is our ARDM model result. Basic model needs to return as an autoregressive distribute-like model, which is used to judge whether there is a long-term co-integration relationship between them. The judgment is based on the joint F statistical value of the variable X. If the F value is greater than the upper limit of the critical value, it means that no hep C that there is no long-term co-integration relationship between the variables can be rejected, and the alternative hep C is accepted. And the last part is unit root test. The unit root test method adopted in this research is the ADF test method, which is obtained by testing each variable. This slide is our unit root test result of our data. The ADF value is compared with its maximum critical value to judge its stability. If the ADF value is greater than the maximum critical value, the variable is non-stationary sequence. Otherwise, it's a stationary sequence. It can be concluded from the test results that all time series cannot reject the null hep C at 1% significance level. That is, the series has unit roots and is non-stationary.
Analysis of the impact of the financial crisis on the stability of China's currency demand. The long-term relationship between China's GDP, R and M1 after the financial crisis, increasing the domestic currency interest rate and increased domestic money demand. But the interest rate elasticity of money demand is not very large, indicating that the space for increasing money demand by raising interest rates alone is limited. The ratio of the broad money stock M1 to GDP has increased during the sample period, which indicates that the money stock required for unit GDP growth is increasing. The decrease in the speed of money circulating means that the actual supply of money in the economic fields decreases. With the deepening of reforms, the behavior of economic entities has become more and more standardized, and brand blowing and lowing that only pay attention to scale, but not quality have been declined. Especially in recent years, economic expectations are not very optimistic. The cautious investment of enterprises and banks has affected the role of the currency multiplier. Long-run relationship test from two tables. The various ln J and ln R are differentially processed, and the maximum lag is taken as order 2, and the following error correction model is established. ECM test. So the ECM correction model test, it can be seen that there is a long-term dynamic equilibrium relationship between M1 GDP and R, and short-term deviations will be corrected. Anomaly test. It can be seen from the anomaly test that China's GDP and M1 have a long-term correlation. Stability inspection. It can be seen from the chart that the Q-sum test results are within the two crucial lines at the 5% level, significant level, indicating that the short-term dynamic model of broad money is relatively stable during the test period.
Okay, this part, let's talk about conclusion. These article used data from 2008 and 2019 to fully control variables such as active, domestic, and foreign interest rates, exchange rates, and other variables. And use ARDL model to study the impact of the international financial crisis. Impact on the stability of China's M1 and M2 currency demand. It is found that the international financial crisis has significantly increased the currency demand of M1 in short and long term, but the international financial crisis is not enough to destroy the stability of M1 currency demand. The regression results of the M2 currency demand show that the international financial crisis has no significant impact on it in the short and long term, and the M2 currency demand has long-term stability during and after the financial crisis. Given China's currency demand is still relatively stable, China has a realistic basis for formulating currency growth targets. But as for China, I think on the one hand, it can continue to promote the construction of a price-based monetary policy framework. And on the other hand, it will not give up the money supply target for the time being. But the latter is not a strict constraint index. A reference and a reference wheel. When the inflation rate is still in a moderate range, even the currency growth rate exceeds the set target, it will not be a major problem. But if the inflation rate continues to rise, we need to complete the gap between the actual currency growth rate and the target to study the currency of inflation, whether it comes from excess liquidity. That's all. Thank you.